Good day, I bid to Madam Sabita. Our group consists of 3 members, which are me, myself, FATIN CAMELIA binti Ibni Hajar, SHARIFAH and SABREENA binti SYED RUSLI, and HASYADINA binti KHAIRUDDIN. We are going to present regarding verbal communication versus non-verbal communication. We will start with the table of content first. First is the definition of verbal communication and non-verbal communication, and then moving on to the categories of it. Next is the techniques of non-verbal communication, and the last one is the personal profiling.
So what is verbal communication? Verbal communication is where a person uses speech or words to exchange information or messages. It takes place in the form of oral as well as written format between 2 or more persons. And the example for verbal communication are meetings, letters, reports, and face-to-face conversation. And for non-verbal communication, it is a widely used method in the communication process where a person doesn't use a single word or language to pass his or her message or information to other people.
Non-verbal communication is almost as important as the verbal responses, as non-verbal communication may differ from one culture to another as well as from one situation to another. And these non-verbal elements can present a listener with important clues to the speaker's thought and feelings, and thus substantiate or contradict the speaker's words.
For verbal communication, we have 4 categories, which are intrapersonal, interpersonal, small groups, and also public communication. For the first one is intrapersonal. This form of communication is extremely private and restricted to ourselves. It includes the silent conversations we have with ourselves. And for interpersonal communication, it takes place between 2 individuals and is a thus one-to-one conversation. For small group communication, this type of communication can take place only when there are more than 2 people involved, such as press conference or like board meetings. And the last one is public communication. This type of communication takes place when one individual addresses a large gathering of people, such as election campaigns, and public speeches are example of this type of communication.
So the first category for non-verbal communication is body language. This is one of the most recognizable types of non-verbal communication out there. And body language refers to any type of movements done by your body, and those movements can be done consciously or also unconsciously. For instance, a prime example of conscious body movement is when someone leans closer in the direction of a speaker at a meeting. Next one is gestures. Movement and signals are an important way to communicate meaning without words. Common gestures such as waving, pointing, and using your fingers to indicate numeric amounts. Next one is facial expression. Someone can pretty much sum up how you're feeling just by looking at your face, while a number of factors play a role in determining how people read your facial expression, such as your eyes are the number 1 giveaway. It is scientifically proven that your eyes tell a lot about your emotions. For example, when people are sad or worried, they furrow their brow, which makes the eyes look smaller. Yet when people are cheerful, we correctly call them bright-eyed. And that's because people raise their eyebrows when they are happy, making the eyes look bigger and brighter. The next one is posture. Two forms of posture have been identified: open and closed, which may reflect an individual's degree of confidence, status, or receptivity to another person.
Hi. Do you want some fries? Thanks. Is it good? Do you like it? Thanks. You're welcome. Personality profiling is a field that encompasses a broad variety of methods and solutions, also known as behavioral profiling and personality testing, from clinical and technical tools to business-oriented solutions. Some of these use hundreds of questions to measure dozens of variables, which others simply identify a person as a belonging into a certain category. All of these methods, however, provide the same fundamental solution, which is to recognize a characteristics of an individual that is meant to be effective in predicting and recognizing their behavior. Personality profiling provides insights to organizations on how they could understand their people better in a number of ways and in various situations, from how they prefer to learn, work, communicate, and lead, to what motivates them and how they respond to change. Personality profiling also enables individuals to understand why they approach their job in the certain way they do, why it differs than the other, and what the overall team performance could mean. According to Manan 2019, the most common personality profiling test is the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or MBTI. This Myers-Briggs Type Indicator is a self-report inventory that is designed to identify a person's personality type, preferences, and strengths. Another most commonly used personality test is the Minnesota Multi-Faceted Personality Inventory, MMPI, that is used to help diagnose mental health disorders and is mainly used by mental health professionals. Cherry in 2020 stated that the medical health professionals use MMPI to evaluate and diagnose mental illness, and it also has been used in other fields outside than clinical psychology. So my team member consists of two personalities, which are introverts and ambivert. According to Edwards 2020, ambivert is someone who has both traits, which are introvert and extrovert, and may flip into either depending to their mood, context, and objectives. An ambivert is someone who has both personality trait, which means they may have extroverts' charm and assertiveness, and shares introverts' communication skills and thoughtfulness. Ambiverts can get energy from being with people or from being alone, and by interacting with others, they can be self-reflective and even work things through. Moreover, ambiverts are flexible in how they respond to people. For instance, in the case of group settings, ambiverts can provide a much-needed balance to the social dynamic.
The concept of introvert is someone who prefers quiet and minimally stimulating environment, and they are often thought as quiet, reserved, and thoughtful person. Normally, after socializing, introverts will feel exhausted and they will gain back their energy by spending time alone. This is because the brains of introverts reacts differently compared to brains of extroverts to dopamine. Introverts often enjoy more concentrated alone time, and it contributes to more and deeper perspectives. Introverts' attention is focused inward, where they think, feel, and behave in a way that indicate the primary motivating factor is the subject. Houston 2021.
Why knowing your own personality profile is important? Number one is to understand other people better. A lot of times it seems like people don't treat us the way we treated them. However, it has been proven that when you understand your own personality profile, it becomes easy to understand why people treat you the way they do. Understanding your own personality profile and that of others close to you will help you build a better relationship with them. Next is to have a better relationship with everyone. If you don't understand your own personality profile, you will have a hard time to deal and interact with others, as you don't even know how to handle yourself at the first place. Next is to understand your strength and your weakness. Do you keep failing in life? One of the reasons why you have not reached your aim is because you keep on setting the wrong targets. Just because your friend succeeded in a particular task doesn't mean you will automatically achieve the same results. Each of us is unique. You need to understand your strength and your weakness and how you can leverage them to achieve what you want in your life. And the last one is to identify what you like and what you don't like. There are things we usually shy away without knowing the reasons. For instance, you may be super reluctant to attend a party with your friends all the time, but you don't know what is the reason behind it. So by understanding your own personality profile, you can easily identify the things that you have higher chances of liking, which can then lead to a better social life. Why knowing your employees and customers' profile is important? It is to avoid conflict. It can help to train yourself to be more analytical and evaluate the situations with your employees and customers before determining how to address it. Next is to have a better communication with the employees and customers. Knowing how your employees is likely to adapt in a different situation will allow you to put them in a position where they are primed to succeed. Not only will your team be more successful, but you will have a better grasp on what the employees are reaching out of their comfort zone, which can help you determine what projects they care about later. And the third one is to have a more cohesive team. It is because a team is of course made of individuals, and personality can be the mortar that holds the team together or the chisel that tears it apart. Members of the team have to be able to work and engage together. It is also to allow to examine a person, their personality and behaviors to help you build a better workplace team. And the last one is to improve decision making. Understanding staff and customers will help you to appreciate how they work with their own decisions. These offer a distinct advantage with collaborating with others to conclude a resolution most effectively, and will also reduce conflict during the process. With that, we have come to the end of the presentation. Thank you, Ms. Abita, for giving us the chance to do so.